Hi, I'm Jenny, and today I wanted to share with you about channeling and what that means and how that works for me, and how I'll be sharing that with you in the future. I will start with saying that the ego really likes labels, and so as we start to work on healing our ego stories, the ego really tries hard to grasp to labels. So I guess the best label for what I do is channeling. But you could also call it being a psychic or psychic medium. You can call it being clairaudient and clairvoyant, but I also have sometimes just an inner knowing, so using my clairsenses. However you want to use it or say it. I have been sensitive to others and their emotions and spirits and angels and animals and the messages from animals in the world and the natural world since I was a child. It caused me a lot of anxiety, and as a teenager I started to develop these skills, but then I got really afraid. I didn't have anyone to teach me, and I was working through it on my own, and it just kind of got like freaked out, I guess would be the best word. And I knew that I wanted a normal life as a teacher and a mom, and as being a psychic or someone like that can be a burden. At least it was then. It's different now. I'm talking in the 90s. The world has changed quite a bit, but there was definitely a fear of persecution then. And so I stopped developing the skills, which, by the way, you can't do. You cannot, stop spiritual learning. You can delay it. And I definitely did that for a long time until things changed radically in my life at the end of 2018. And then 2019, I started making the changes on purpose. And then by 2020, I was channeling every day, and I have been since. So what does that mean? So what that means is different members of what is called the Council of Light will come to me and share information about myself, about the world, about others. The funniest time was recently. I was on the phone with someone about a customer service issue, and that person's grandmother came through with a message, and it's like, I'm not, basically in my head, like, I'm not going to do this message right now, Grandma. Like, I'm sorry, but, and then my whole body, I got like a rapid heart rate, and I was getting sweaty because I just couldn't. So then I let the person know the message from their grandmother, and they were actually very appreciative. But anyway, so you just like sometimes, so it's all these different things. The Council of Light is basically a lot of archangels who I was purposely attuned to in 2020. I chose to work with Kyle Gray's angel team and get attuned to the different archangels. I mainly channel Archangel Uriel. He's chosen me as, he's chosen to work with me, and El Morye, who is an Ascended Master. So the Council of Light is archangels and Ascended Masters. And for more information on that, I would really look at Kyle Gray's work. There is some other information out there, but it's pretty outdated. And I don't feel like it paints the best picture of what exactly these beings are. Ascended Masters are humans who have ascended past reincarnation and are here to lift the consciousness of planet Earth. And archangels, I'm sure you know, are angels who, most of them have never been in a human body. And so they basically come, and at first I started actually using Linda Howe's Akashic Records prayer, and then also just opening myself up to listening. And all I would see was like a lot of lights and sacred geometry, but I never actually heard anything. And then after a couple of weeks of doing that and really like working towards it, working with Oracle decks and starting to work with my guardian angel, I had like the weirdest feeling. I felt really lightheaded and my throat felt constricted. I just felt really weird, and I just told my husband, I feel like I have to channel. I have a message coming through, and I left, and it was El Morye, and he works with the throat chakra, and so he basically opened me up to channeling other messages. And what I learned was that I'm best if I use a voice recorder, because the message I hear and I speak, and sometimes I don't even hear it first, like it just comes out. So if I just open my mouth, the messages can come out. So every morning after my own prayers, I say, okay, I'm ready to listen. And it's usually my guardian angel will give me a couple messages for the day. That's usually just for me. And I just kind of write, and sometimes it's automatic writing where I just write whatever he's going to tell me. And then once a week I open up the Akashic Records, actually using the Prayer of the New Earth from Ashley Wood from Align Within. I think that's her name, Ashley Wood. And so I use that, and that's actually what I use to channel the messages I share here on YouTube as well. So I do it both ways. I do it just without the Akashic Records prayer in the morning and just talking to angels, and sometimes just getting messages throughout the day, and I'll just run and quickly write it down, or I put it down on the notes in my phone, and then or by opening up the Akashic Records. And that's a little more formal, get more of a stream going, and I record everything and then I transcribe it, and it doesn't feel weird or scary to me. I definitely protect myself. I do like a cleansing ritual every morning and at night, and then I also put a circle of protection around myself, and all of that before I would ever open myself up to any messages. And it's definitely not for everybody, but like I said, something that was happening to me in childhood, and then I started to develop and then tried not to develop, but it just made me feel really drained all the time and sick. I could still sense other people's emotions and didn't want to. I wanted to deny it. But you just can't deny who you are. And I've done a lot of healing since then, and a lot of work in my own records and with past life healing and a lot of meditation. I've just gone through a lot to get to this point where I'm able to do this. Because sometimes people will ask me, like, how do you get to talk to your spirit guides? Like, mine don't talk to me, and they're kind of sad about it. It's like, really, it's just a lot. There's a lot to get there. Like, I've been studying different religions and spirituality since the age of 13. Like, and then I read like every self-help book from Eckhart Tolle to Oprah to Jen Sincero. Like, I've read it all. So I've done a lot of work in therapy. Like, there's a lot of self-work and self-healing, physically, emotionally, spiritually, to get me to this point. And so it's not like it just picked it up. I was really working on it. And I started sharing messages with a company that I'm no longer part of, and people really resonated with them. And so I thought I would just start sharing them here, like everybody else does on YouTube. And so far, it feels good. It feels good to share my light and, share any words that will offer anybody any kind of peace. That's really my hope, is that maybe I say something that makes you just feel all the better, or more spiritual, or leads you to something else. It's just, a way of sharing light in the world when there's so much darkness out there, where, I'm trying to help rebalance the world, trying to help elevate the consciousness. So yeah, that's my channeling story. And if you have questions, please let me know.